Devin McCourty, also brought to you by FindMassMoney.com, where even Devin McCourty found money, and he joins us this morning on the Harbor One hotline. Hey, Devin.
Good morning.
How you doing?
Good. Hey, 75 balls on the jugging machine is way too long.
Yeah.
Right.
That's going to be brutal.
Right.
I mean, what's a good number?
I agree with Wiggy. 20, 25. Like, that'll go fast. But 75?
Right. Well, that's because he's scared, man. And you know, when somebody's scared, they figure along, more balls gives them a better opportunity.
I mean, you've seen a lot of great guys with great hands in your career. Who do you think the early favorite is, Wiggy or Foye?
Again, like Wiggy mentioned, because I've seen the snow game a bunch of times in my 13 years, I'm going to go Wiggy. Those are tough conditions to perform in.
Right. And they used to, when he played here, they would bring a linebacker in to catch touchdowns. So that there he goes, tells you right there. And I played with that same linebacker.
Well, listen, I got a little emotional on Sunday because you sounded a little bit like retirement might be in your near future. Anything that you'd like to announce exclusively on this show this morning, Devin?
That I'll be there Sunday. I figure that's a good announcement.
That's good. All right, but I mean, we can get a little bit inside your head. Is it something that you think about? I know that you're focused every week on that week, and not the noise never interferes. But is it? I mean, do you think about it from time to time?
No, not really. I mean, there's nothing I can't control that now or make a decision now. So, no, just enjoying the moments, man, having fun. And, Sunday was fun, a lot of family, brother on the sideline. So, just been enjoying that.
Also, I think you're the only person in that locker room that's able to pour an entire water bottle over Bill Belichick's head. Did you take that on yourself, or did everyone say, Devin, you're the only guy who can do this?
No, I thought about it as we were sitting there, and I was like, man, let's go get some water. You couldn't see it on the camera, but Wise was with me too. So it wasn't just me. We got some other brave individuals in the locker room.
Devin, what's he meant to you, not only professionally, but also personally?
I just think, I think obviously dating back to like my second year, I think struggling, and I think the team and Bill in particular sticking with me and helping me figure out how to keep playing that year. Obviously we went to the Super Bowl that year, so just I think that year had a lot of ups and downs, and I think being able to come into work and knowing that, the head coach and the team was behind me as a second-year player, I think was big for my confidence to continue to just go out there and play. And it wasn't like there was like this big turnaround where it got better. It was just a up and down year, it felt like for me. But I think, being able to have that belief system in here intact coming back year 3, I was able to come back confident, continue to play, switch positions, and, and continue to go on with my career. And I think having that support was huge, not just, from an X and O standpoint, but, coming in, telling the team, we believe in you. You got to keep playing. I think was big for me, especially young in my career.
How difficult is it to prepare for a quarterback when there's such limited film?
Yeah, it was tough. Like just watching the Washington game, there were some differences. I would say play calling and, a little bit of what they're trying to do with Ehlinger in there compared to Matt Ryan in there. But you got one game. So, watching some of the preseason games as well, which, is not always kind of indicative of what they'll do during the regular season or, there's a lot of vanilla and simple play calling. So we'll have to know some things, but we'll also have to be ready to adapt and change and adjust. And I think this guy, you turn on the film last week, Ehlinger was in the pocket. He was poised, stepped up in the pocket, went to the second and third progression. So it's not like we're playing a guy where you just turn on the film and you're like, man, he's young. We can confuse him every time. Like if you should go out there and give him and show him exactly what you're in. He did a really good job against Washington of moving them and playing well on offense. So we'll have to be prepared. We'll have to make it tough for him on the road. playing here in Foxborough. Need our fans out there yelling and screaming, making it tough. Because I think obviously this team is good. They embarrassed us last year on the road in Indy. We'll have to be ready to go.
They should be yelling and screaming for the New England Patriots and for the New England Patriots quarterback, not against, correct?
Well, you have the ears of the fans. Like, they listen to you every day, so I'm going to put that on you to make sure Sunday that is done correctly. Not on me. I'm going to let you handle this very well. You're the professional.
Okay.
You're on the radio.
Okay.
You got to make sure the fans are there yelling and screaming. If they're not, next Friday, me and you are going to have a problem.
Oh. Well, I have Wiggy or LB to handle all of my physical altercations for me.
Oh,
So.
you got security? You have security?
I ain't got much gas left in the tank.
Devin, you mentioned Sam Ehlinger starting and Matt Ryan no longer starting. I think of that Super Bowl against Matt Ryan daily. It's still to this day is something I cannot believe happened, even in real time. When you look back at that game and Matt Ryan and that whole situation, have you ever been a part of a game anywhere like Super Bowl 51?
No, not to what we experienced in that game. I would say, for one, they were explosive that year, and they came out of the gate explosive against us, throwing the ball, running the ball. So just being a part of that game, obviously always be something you remember. And I would say even the battles that I've had playing against Matt Ryan, we played him in 13 where the game almost went to overtime after they recovered an onside kick. We had the Fog game in here. We went there last year. So it's always been a battle playing against him. Tough quarterback. Obviously one of the greats, won MVP that year that we played him in the Super Bowl. So a lot of memories. Ended up on the winning end of those. So, happy about that. But definitely a battle and a fun guy to compete against.
Dev, defensively, you guys, I think, are second in the league in takeaways. Obviously, you had 2 interceptions last week. You get a young quarterback who's only in his second game. What do you guys need to do to kind of continue this trend of making sure you're able to get some turnovers?
Yeah, I think especially this week, it'll start with stopping the run, playing good up front against the run, and, trying to make them one-dimensional. I think that's what really helped us last week. You talk about creating turnovers and making plays. Was stopping the run and making the Jets one-dimensional. So I think being able to do that will be big. And like you said, when you're only in your second start, defenses have to do a good job of making sure that we show you things that you haven't seen, trying to confuse you, and that usually leads to turnovers. And I think, you match our rush and our coverage, we'll have a chance to make some plays. And, I think for us to go out there and play well defensively, we've relied on turnovers, and we got to keep trying to do that.
Devin, Michael Pittman has had a pretty good year, and Paris Campbell has come on a lot late. What kind of challenges do those receivers for Indianapolis present to you guys?
Yeah, man, they're young guys that are making a name for themselves. I think Paris Campbell, obviously, getting hurt early in your career is tough, but I think seeing him rebound and come back and play well, I think he brings a side of explosiveness to the team, and I think Pittman brings a style of toughness of making contested catches, going over the middle, blocking, does all the little, I would say, nitty-gritty things. And he's a tough football player. And I think I would throw Pierce in there as well as a rookie coming in making big plays. You could tell Matt Ryan liked to go to him. And last week, Ehlinger went to him backside, twice on deep balls. They didn't connect on him. But you could see that's a part of the game plan. So we got to be ready to go with that.
Dev, when we talked about those receivers, and obviously I know Jonathan Taylor is questionable, but if he does play and he does go, what makes him such a difficult player to defend?
Yeah, when you watch the film, I'm not saying exactly but you see a little bit of, when Le'Veon Bell was playing at his top, that patience. And when you watch Jonathan Taylor, he has some of that patience of, up front, you think you're beating a block and you're going to the right side, and then he just jump cuts back on the other side of the block, and now there's a brand new hole and he shoots through it. He's 4.3 speed. So now it's a guy that once he breaks out, you're not going to catch him. So I think the vision, the patience, and the speed make him a really tough guy to play against. And we saw that last year. And, questionable or not, we got to be ready to go if he's out there, because I think there's a good chance he comes out there and plays. And he's a tough guy to tackle. And they're a tough team, I think, up front to compete against.
Devin, how important is it when you look at the young guys on the team to get a win before a bye week when you know that you're not going to see the field for 2 weeks in between?
Yeah, I mean, I think the focus for us has been don't worry about next week. It's not about next week. I think, our team needs to learn how to be consistent, whether there's a week off in between, whether it's a Thursday night after a Sunday. Like, I think that's one of the things that we're trying to build here, and we gotta fight the feeling of being comfortable, fight the feeling of being happy about last week, and just fight to be consistent, to play well one week, get a win, come back, put in the same preparation, same mentality, same attitude, do it again the next week. And I think that's what we're fighting to do. And, I think, the bye week and all that is, it's obviously in there, but we can't worry about that. We got to just worry about playing well and trying to beat the Colts.
Jay-Z is reportedly interested in purchasing the Commanders with Jeff Bezos. Wiggy and I had a bit of a off-air kerfuffle about this earlier. What in your mind? I said mine on the air. What is the best Jay-Z song, Devin McCourty?
Oh man, that's tough. Best. I don't know. I'll say the last one I just listened to was A Shit of Izzo, which is a good one. I'll just go with that for right now.
Okay.
I would have to think.
See, I had like
you asked me Jay-Z or a favorite DMX song. I need time. I need time to process it.
I had The City Is Mine with Jagged Edge, obviously Brooklyn's finest. Public service announcement. Thought was
yes.
Greg's was Cheeseburger in Paradise.
Speaking of, if I could get a connection to Jay-Z and you let me in on buying the Commanders, Greg, you asked about retirement. That'll lead to retirement ASAP.
I think you'd make a pretty good owner,
Yeah.
Devin. I got to tell you, I think you'd make a great coach too. You ever thought about coaching?
No. Can't coach. My marriage is not built to last through coaching, my wife told me.
you ain't chasing ghosts at 12 a.m.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, we will talk to you next week. Thanks for being on this morning, Devin McCourty.
No problem, man. Good hearing from you guys.